Welcome to the next episode of Game Talk. I am your host, Jesse. And E3 is coming, but it's not coming alone. It is coming with pitchforks, torches, and a bunch of angry fans. Why? Microsoft screwed off big time. Nintendo's pissing off its loyal fans, and Sony is walking that fine line of being loved and being hated. Let's break it down at this week's topic, console war. The reason I picked this topic because ever since that I remember, this has always been a console war. I believe it started with Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's when I remember there was a console war. This year, console war has been, well, not very excited. It's been very boring, mostly because a lot of the stuff that rumors seemed to be kind of true. A lot of expectations had not been fulfilled. A lot of us had just been very, very disappointed with a lot of stuff that's going on. Nintendo can't seem to deliver some good games right away. Can't seem to deliver games during the lineup of the Wii U. Microsoft is just adding on to more speculations about the rumors. Well, some of them are truth now, and just a lot of people are mad. And Sony, on the other hand, haven't really shut off anything. They're keeping it all secret, so a lot of us are either liking that or we're hating it. And things can go good or bad for Sony, depending if there are any rumors out there. If rumors start popping out before E3 begins, before their press conference begins, then a lot of people are really gonna be spectating something completely different. And the reason why is rumors can either break it or make it for these three consoles, for these three companies. That's why I don't always believe the stuff that's happened in the internet. But at the same time, it could be true. But enough about that, enough about rumors, enough about who's gonna make it or break it. Let's get down to the main point. Why I picked the topic of console wars because, like I said, throughout the years, it has always been in console war of who comes out on top and who goes home crying. And usually Nintendo is the one going home crying, and it's kind of sad because I am a Nintendo fan. But the truth needs to be told, and we need to let our voices know that the stuff these guys are doing, these three major companies are doing, are gonna affect us in some way to the point it might make us change our mind forever. E3 has always been the battlefield ground for these three consoles to really shine and grab attention. Like I said in my last video, if you grab the most attention, you grab the most fans, you grab the most money, you have a very successful year. But if you don't do it right, then E3 could be the starting point of you guys, of these companies or these consoles trying to become right on the fast track, trying to recover from the massive damage that either the other companies did or you did it yourself. For example, the Wii U wasn't that much of a lot of excitement, so Microsoft and Sony didn't really have to deliver a final blow or just a huge blow to Nintendo. Nintendo did that themselves. This year, all three companies have a huge blow underneath the belt. They all took a big one. With all the rumors, all the stuff they did, Nintendo claiming 100% piracy act of profits for Let's Play videos, Microsoft not wanting to let you play used games at all, and Sony on the other hand, Sony are actually playing it smart. They're avoiding all the mistakes that that Microsoft and Nintendo had made. Sony might end up winning this console war right down to the very end. If they come out doing a strong and good presentation at the press conference, then they're gonna make me want to buy a PlayStation 4. I'm gonna convince people to buy a PlayStation 4, and they're gonna convince people to buy a PlayStation 4. So Sony just gonna have a great year if they can do an amazing job at the press conference at E3. Microsoft and Nintendo are gonna be the ones crying back home and trying to figure out what the hell went wrong. Well, we already know what went wrong. We already know the stuff that's gonna go wrong. How much worse can it get for these two companies? How much worse can it get for Microsoft and Nintendo? Well, it can get very worse at this year's E3. If they fail to deliver the stuff that they promised us at E3, then I can truly say that Microsoft and Nintendo need to go home and go back to their roots. They need to go back to the original source of gaming, and that is create a console that it won't hurt your wallet, that if you're going to give it a membership, it better be worth it, and that you're going to be able to use and borrow used games. And I'm talking about Microsoft right now. I'm not talking about Nintendo, Microsoft themselves. Because I like Microsoft and I like the idea they have. You know, they took the Wii and turned it into the Kinect and made it better. They take the ability, the Wii U, and turn it into a smart glass, in which it's pretty amazing. It does have some good features in it. But if you're gonna take an idea and turn it better, if you're gonna make it better, then you have to remember that the original source of what you're trying to sell or do has to have gaming. It has to apply to gaming. I don't care about the TVs. I don't care about smart glass. I just want to play some games. And this is what kind of leads me to Nintendo, because Nintendo has always been and has always been known as a family orientation console. That's why a lot of hardcore gamers don't really like Nintendo that much, because Nintendo's a kid's game. And there's nothing wrong with playing a kid's game. You know, we're all kids inside. We're all kids. Even though we may be grown folks, we still are kids inside. You know, we're kids in heart. Video games is what lets us be these kids from time to time. Nintendo wants to do good, and they want to do really good, and if they want to be on top of this console war, Nintendo has to come out with good games. You know, they need to bring out a new Mario game? No, not just a Mario game, a new experience Mario game. You know, Mario 64 revolutionized the N64. Mario Sunshine, in which some people didn't like, revolutionized the Nintendo GameCube. Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 revolutionized the Wii. Now, Nintendo needs to come out with a good Mario game that will revolutionize the Nintendo Wii U. Even the handheld games that Nintendo has brought out had a good Mario game that revolutionized the handheld devices. The 3DS has Mario 3D Land. You know, the Super Nintendo had Super Mario World and I think Mario RPG, which that made it over the top. So, if Nintendo wants to win this console war, they need to reveal not just a Mario game that's going to revolutionize the Wii U, but a new Zelda game, a new Metro game. Bring some of their old franchise back to this modern era and make them good again. Make them look and feel good. A new Star Fox game would be nice, you know, if they kept the original idea of Star Fox and just remade it. Not Star Fox Assault. It was, even though it was a cool game, I didn't think it was the best Star Fox in the franchise. You know, a new Captain Falcon game. I forget the title of the franchise, but Captain Falcon, bring him back in a new game. Bring Kirby back in a new game. Not Kirby Epic Yarn. Sorry if I can't pronounce it right. But a new Kirby game, something that will bring it back to the original roots. And the original root for me would be the Super Nintendo version of Kirby. Kirby All Stars. Bring that back, remake it, redo it, add a new feature, a new storyline, something that is gonna grab attention and people will actually want to buy your console. Don't just keep releasing HD remakes of old school games onto the Wii U. No, bring us something else. Bring us Earthbound, Earthbound 4, Earthbound 3, Earthbound well, it's already gonna be an HD remake, but a new Earthbound with new characters. Bring some good ideas back into the Wii U, and then you should be kind of okay and doing good, and people are gonna want to play it. Now, for Sony, on the other hand, I don't think Sony has much to struggle or to deal with. You know, they showed off the controller and the last mini press conference they did in February 20th. You know, they showed off some games. The only thing that Sony has to do in order to grab more attention and to actually please the fans is just to show off the console itself. How's the PlayStation 4 gonna look like? You know, how much, the price on it's gonna be. How are we gonna get two different versions of the game, of the console? I mean, two different versions of PlayStation 4. You know, one with more gigabytes, one with less gigabytes, one with more this, one with less that. And I think as it gave the lineup for the titles, so when the PlayStation 4 comes out, then a lot of people are gonna want to buy the PlayStation 4 right off the bat. You know, they gotta make sure that the PlayStation 4 doesn't have any technical difficulties of working properly. You know, if they could avoid the technical errors right off the bat, then they're gonna be fine. Because right now, all they have to do is just avoid falling into those traps that Microsoft and Nintendo has done. You know, if they encourage and say, if they encourage people to share, then that's gonna want to grab attention. And Sony's gonna give you the ability to play used games, then that's gonna be amazing, because there's tournaments out there that require more than one console, more than a copy of a game, and with Microsoft, it's gonna require a copy of the game. You know, more specifically, what I'm talking about is fighting game tournaments. If Microsoft's gonna do the no use games, and Sony is gonna embrace the you can use used games, then a lot of tournaments, a lot of first person shooter tournaments, I believe, and fighting game tournaments are gonna run PlayStation 4 for the tournament. Every tournament that's gonna have out there is probably gonna run on the PlayStation 4. I know that some of the previous tournaments or the upcoming tournaments for these years kind of run on the PlayStation 3. But if they embrace the ability to be able to play used games, then that's gonna be the tournament go-to console to go with, and that's PlayStation 4. And Sony Xbox One is not gonna be embraced right away. We could all agree that the PlayStation 4 has a good performance at this year's E3. Then a lot of people are gonna embrace it right away. A lot of people are gonna want to buy it right away. You know, I gotta wait and see at this year's E3 for the news and information, and if I feel that the performance was good enough to convince me to buy the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, I might not just get the Wii U right away. You know, I might just skip until my birthday next year to get the Wii U instead of getting it for Christmas. I might just want to go for the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, but that decision has to wait until the E3 press conference. So, what do you guys think? Who's gonna win the console war? Who's gonna be victorious? Who's gonna go home crying? And who's gonna make things worse? You know, who's gonna go from bad to worse? I hope it's Microsoft, but at the same time, I doubt it's gonna happen. I think these guys are gonna bounce out and reclaim some of their fans. Eventually they're gonna end up losing, or they might already have lost. So, thank you for listening to this video. Comment, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. I hope to see you guys next time. And thank you and goodbye.